all the stars I've seen, all the songs I've sung, all the beers I've drank, all the damage done. I was just passing time, kinda just passing through, on my way to you. Every curve, every ditch, every turn, every bridge I left behind me up in smoke, every fork in the road. It was all worth the while when I finally saw you smile. Every highway, every heartbreak, every mountain, every mile. I got the radio up, the sun is going down. I'll take a left at the bank, and I'll head straight through town. So baby, put on that dress, a little sweet perfume, 'cause I'm on my way to you. Every turn, every bridge I left behind me up in smoke, every fork in the road. It was all worth the while when I finally saw you smile. Every highway, every heartbreak, every mountain, every mile. All the boats I've missed, all the hell I've caused, all the lips I've kissed, all the love I've lost. I thank God for that. I guess He always knew I was on my way to you. On my way to you. On my way to you. All the boats I've missed, all the hell I've caused, all the lips I've kissed, all the love I've lost. I got kicked around, I've been black and blue, on my way to you. All the stars I've seen, all the songs I've sung, all the beers I've drank, all the damage done. I was just passing time, kinda just passing through, on my way to you.
You say you'll be down in 5. The smell of your perfume is floating down the stairs. You're fixing up your hair like you do. I know that I'll be a mess the second that I see you. You won't be surprised, it happens every time, it's nothing new. It's always on a night like tonight, I thank God you can read my mind. 'Cause when you look at me with those eyes, I'm speechless, staring at you standing there in that dress. What it's doing to me ain't a secret, 'cause watching you is all that I can do. And I'm speechless, you already know that you're my weakness. After all this time I'm just as nervous every time you walk into the room.
this woman to this man?
Her mother and her father. Not doing it.
Okay, please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. We are gathered on this day to witness and celebrate the marriage of Haley Hepp and Jim Chamberlain. If everybody could right now get out their cell phones, please. I'd like everybody to kind of do a little candid shot, get some different views of the wedding party standing up here. And then after that, I ask you to please put it on silent and put the cell phones away for the remainder of the ceremony. Thank you. We come together not to mark the start of a relationship, but to strengthen a bond that already exists. This ceremony is a public affirmation of that bond, and as their dearest family and friends, it is our honor and privilege to stand witness to this event. This day is made possible not only because of your love for one another, but through the grace and support of your family and friends. It is our hope that your fulfillment and joy in each other will increase every day, month, and year. Marriage is a commitment in life where two people can find and bring out the best in one another. Marriage also offers opportunities and sharing and growth that no other human relationship can equal, a physical and emotional joining that has the promise of a lifetime. Bow our heads. Lord, we thank you for gathering everyone here today. We ask that you help Haley and Jim to remember the strong love they share. Bless this marriage with peace and happiness both here and eternity. Amen. In his letter to the Corinthians, Paul wrote, "Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy nor boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends." I have a reading here requested by Haley. It's from Ruth chapter 1, verses 16 and 17. "Where you go, I will go. And where you will stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, but it ever so severely, if anything but death separates you and me." I have another reading from Frederick Buckner. "They say that love will comfort, honor, and cherish each other to the end of their days. They say they will cherish each other and be faithful to each other always. They say they will do these things not just when they feel like it, but even for better or worse, richer or poorer, sickness and in health. When they don't feel like it at all, in other words, the vows they make could hardly be more extravagant. They give away their freedom. They take on themselves each other's burdens. They bind their lives together. The question is, what do they get in return? They get each other in return. They will always be there for the other to talk to listen to. There is still someone to get through the night with, to wake into the new day beside. If they have children, they can give them, as well as each other, roots and wings. If they don't have children, they become each other's child. They both still have their lives apart as well as their lives together. They both still have their separate ways to find, but a marriage made in heaven is one where a man and a woman become more richly themselves together than the chances are either of them could have ever managed alone." After talking with Jim and Haley, I actually just met Jim about a month ago at a wedding reception, ironically. I had them email me back and forth different things about each other, like their likes and their dislikes, a few things that maybe some of you do not know. I would like to share both sides of their first encounter, which was quite different. Jim thought completely different than Haley at first. But these are their words, not mine. So remember that when I read this, that this is their words. I will start with Jim. First off, he said, I'm looking forward to meeting you in a couple months. And I said the same. Haley and I met at Buffalo Wild Wings. She was my waitress. It happened ironically. I was rained out from work, so I decided to drive from Marblehead to Tiffin to take his grandmother out to lunch. He noticed Haley before my grandmother and I were even seated. I was sure hopeful she would be my waitress. What I wished came true, and she came strutting over with the most beautiful smile that I had ever seen before. So friendly and professional as a server. All around the most beautiful girl that I had ever laid eyes on. We didn't talk much during lunch because he was uncomfortable spitting game in front of his grandma. So he decided to leave his number on the receipt just before they left. Immediately after leaving, I texted my now best man, Mike, I'm going to marry my server at B-Dubs. So in his case, it was love at first sight, and he knew that he was going to marry her someday. Here's a few things that Jim loves about you. Her work ethic. She is always striving to be better than she was the previous day. I love that I can be 110% myself with her. We both understand each other so well. She may not enjoy watching football, but she pretends to for me. Now for the pet peeves, because I always like asking the couple some pet peeves about each other. She cleans the house often. It's always clean, but she never once puts the vacuum away. When she unlocks the front door, she often leaves her keys in the lock. Just recently, as we started with our invitations to our wedding, I learned something new about her, which turned quickly into a pet peeve. She pronounces the word in, it's invitation. She pronounces it invitation. So she wanted to fill out her invitations. I thought that was pretty good. And now for Haley's about Jim. There's 35 pages. I'm not going to read them all. I'm just going to read a few. So Jim and I met unofficially in April of 2017. I was intimidated as I approached the table he and his grandma sat at Buffalo Wild Wings. Yep, I was his server. He had a great tan, his neon yellow work shirt, and muddy jeans. Some nice facial hair and a cute little smile. Haley kind of had it made up in her head that this guy must be about 30 years old, married, couple kids at home, and he doesn't wear his wedding ring because of his job. She was wrong. So she just decided to play it cool and just be nice. But she could tell that he was a little nervous. So Grandma Hicks broke the ice when she asked for extra ranch. To the surprise, he left the name on the number on the receipt without a name. So he leaves his phone number for Haley without a name. So about 3 days went by. She texted him. He says, "Hi, I'm Jim Chamberlain." So of course, she got right on Facebook and does what everybody does, stalks him. Wants to find out, a few things about him. And it wasn't anything like what she had pictured in her mind. He was younger, good job, not married, no kids. So I think that she was, thinking he could probably be the one. But then she decides to go ahead and ghost him, which is a term I just recently found out what it means. She left him on red for about 8 months. 8 months. She just wanted a little bit more time, to be single, have a new year that approached, and what goals she wanted to make for herself. So finally, she messaged him and said, "Are you ready to take me out on a date yet?" He drove right away from Marblehead to Findlay that very next day and took her to Beer Barrel. They enjoyed themselves and sat along, thinking the waitress was probably a little annoyed because after their meal was gone, they still stuck around and talked. The conversation just came so easily to her and to Jim. And she would say that the relationship it's been just that. Simple, easy. Jim is very easygoing, down for anything, and always is able to have a good time, which I think many of you already know. He brings a lot to the table, respects the little things that I bring to the table. He laughs at my goofy sense of humor and ironically shares the same type of humor. I can count the amount of times we have said the same thing at the same time. I think that's how I knew he was the one. We are so much alike, and it provides us the ability to really understand each other. She definitely had a wall up. Whenever she had an issue with something that Jim did, they could talk, they could communicate, and he easily understood. Amazingly, would not do whatever bothered me again. I think that's incredible and ultimately helped bring my wall down. Some of her dislikes. There's only a couple. When he says I spend way too much money at her favorite clothing boutique, it's so annoying. How mad he gets when I gasp while he is driving when someone pulls out in front of us and I don't realize it's a four-way stop. She can't help it. When I hear his chewing, oh Lord, I cannot. I dislike that he chews. But if you ask him, he can quit whenever he wants. He quit. All right, kudos. Jim doesn't trust Haley to mow, but then again, I never have to mow, so that's like, okay. I hate that he said that he wouldn't have dated me in high school when I show him my high school picture. I so think he would have. I always like sharing stories like that because obviously it lets you know the couple a little bit more. I'm going to give a statement before vows. Okay, this is where you respond with we do. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you present yourself willingly and on your own accord to be joined in marriage?
We do.
Will you promise to care for one another in the joys and sorrow of life, come what may, and share the responsibility for growth and enrichment in your life together?
We
do.
do.
Okay, it's time for the vows. Okay?
Time for.
Jim, you're going to be first.
All right.
All right, Jim, I need you to repeat after me. I, Jim,
I, Jim,
take you, Haley,
take you, Haley,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
my constant friend,
my constant friend,
and my love from this day forward.
and my love from this day forward.
In the presence of God,
In the presence of God,
I offer you my solemn vow
I also give my solemn vow
to be your faithful partner
to be your faithful partner
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and sorrow,
in joy and sorrow,
and in this life as well as death.
and in this life as long as death.
I promise to honor and respect you,
I promise to honor and respect you,
to laugh and cry with you,
to laugh and cry with you,
and to cherish you in this life and the next.
and to cherish you in this life and the next.
Haley? I, Haley,
I, Haley,
take you, Jim,
take you, Jim,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
my constant friend,
my constant friend,
and my love from this day forward.
and my love from this day forward.
In the presence of God,
In the presence of God,
I offer you my solemn vow
I offer you my solemn vow
to be your faithful partner
to be your faithful partner
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
in joy and sorrow,
in joy and sorrow,
and in this life as well as death.
and in this life as well as death.
I promise to honor and respect you,
I promise to honor and respect you,
to laugh and cry with you,
to laugh and cry with you,
and to cherish you in this life and the next.
and to cherish you in this life and the next.
Grandma and Grandpa painted a picture of 65 years in one little house. More than a memory, more than saying I do. Kiss you good nights and I love yous. Me and you, baby, walking the footsteps.
give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my faithfulness to you.
as a symbol of my faithfulness to you.
Slide it in.
Oh boy.
Keep going. Okay.
Okay, good.
Oh, just stand by. Seriously?
It's a good photo.
Oh yeah.
You got it.
Wow.
You good? All right, Haley, your turn. Okay. Repeat after me.
Okay.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my faithfulness to you.
as a symbol of my faithfulness to you.
Here you go.
Before I pronounce you husband and wife, I have a reading that was read at my wedding many moons ago, 25 years to be exact. Your wedding day is one that seems to fly by, a day filled with emotion, love, family, and friends. So I want to take a few seconds for you guys to look in each other's eyes. Think about what you are feeling right now in this moment, in this place, surrounded by your family and friends. Really let that feeling register in your heart and your mind. I want you to think about your life together in 20 years. Where are you? What are you doing? We all know your visions of the future are not identical, but they're always complementary. John Legend once said, "A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together, that is reality." And that new reality starts now. So by the power vested in me by the state of Ohio, it is my honor to pronounce you husband and wife. Jim, kiss your bride. Let me be the first to introduce to you all Mr. and Mrs. Jim and Haley Chamberlain. There will be a cocktail hour in the front where the tables are in front of the main house as we escort.